Hi, my name's Emma and I manage the poker school at pokerrateback.com. Although Rateback is most popular with experienced players, I wanted to provide some online guides for people who are right at the beginning of their poker career. This presentation is designed to provide a basic understanding of the elements that make up a poker game. These basic elements can be applied to most variations of poker, either online, at home with your pals, or competing for a World Series of Poker bracelet. I will also be uploading a number of how to play tutorials for each of the common variations of poker you will see at most online poker rooms. Check out our more advanced strategy guides at Poker Rateback Poker School. The word poker is used to describe a card game where players wager or bet on the strength of the cards they hold. If you've seen poker on TV, it's probably Texas Hold'em, as this is the most popular variation of poker in the world right now. Poker is a game that involves a communal pot consisting of the player's wagers, which is awarded to the poker player who either holds the highest ranking hand or makes a wager which goes unmatched by his or her opponents. All poker games begin with some forced wager or ante, over which poker players compete. In any basic poker game, players strategically wager using a number of actions available to them. Those actions are as follows. A player may call, which is basically placing an amount of chips in the pot equal to the previous bet. In order to stay in the game, a player must at least call a bet. You may also raise, which means you place a bet that is bigger than the previous bet, which then forces the original bettor to call the difference or fold. Folding means forfeiting your hand and quitting the hand. Another action is to check, which is a passing action to the next player when no wager has been made. And then there's a bet. This is an action by a player staking a bet on the perceived strength of the hand to win the pot. Okay, so now let's look at what constitutes the highest hand, or the strongest hand as it's often known. We're going to be looking at hand rankings from the highest possible hand to the lowest. The highest hand is the royal flush. It's unlikely that you'll see too many of these in your poker playing career, but as demonstrated by the illustration here, you have 10 to ace in suit and also following on consecutively. We've got it done as the clubs, but it could be any suit. We then have a straight flush, which is 5 consecutive cards, all of the same suit. Then we have 4 of a kind, which basically does what it says on the tin really, 4 of any type of cards. You'll also see the 7 there. Most cards are made up to a 5. Your hand is your best of 5. Then we have a full house, which is 3 of a kind and then 2 of a kind. We have a flush, which is 5 cards of the same suit. They don't have to run in order. Then we have a straight, 5 consecutive cards, but they don't have to be of the same suit. If they were of the same suit, they would be a straight flush. Then we have 3 of a kind. As you see, the 2 spare make up the 5. Then 2 pair and 1 pair, with all pairs, whether that's 2 pairs or a pair, 3 of a kind or 4 of a kind. If you have a competing player who also has a pair, 2 pairs, 3 of a kind or 4 of a kind, it's the player with the highest value of cards that wins the hand. Of course, you may not have a hand at all, in which case it's the player with the highest card that wins the pot. That would be an ace, and then going right down to a deuce. Now let's move on to buttons. When the dealer is not playing, such as in casinos and some online poker tournaments, a round disc known as a dealer button moves clockwise from player to player with each hand. The button marks which player would be the dealer, so that the blinds can move around the table and players are aware of position. A blind is a bet that is made before the pocket cards are dealt to each player. The first 2 players to the left of the dealer button pay the blinds. The small blind is posted by the first player and the big blind by the second. The size of the big and small blinds are predetermined, as well as the regular bets. The size of the small blind is half the size of the big blind. Blinds are most regularly displayed in this format: $2 to $4, $4 to $8, etc. So that concludes our Poker Basics tutorial. If you would like to contact us, or if you have any more questions, please do so at Poker Rateback Poker School. Alternatively, you'll find us on Facebook and Twitter, and obviously our other tutorial videos on YouTube. I hope you have fun practicing what you've learnt today. I hope to see you at the table soon.